Hi, I'm Bill Hobson, and it's cold. There's snow on the ground, there's a biting wind coming at us, and it's winter in the Midwest, which means for all of us, including this guy, there's no golf happening for a while.
Don't think so.
And so we decided to do something a little bit special and get out of town, go somewhere warm and make some father-son golf memories. Why don't you tell them where we're headed?
This winter, we decided to take our talents to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Over 130 golf courses in a 1 hour radius down there, and I don't think we're going to play all 130 of them, but we've got a pretty good sampling put together for you as we bring you our winter escape to Myrtle Beach, some father-son golf memories. I'll do some reports, you'll do some reports, and we'll probably eat too much, so stick around. Let's get our Myrtle Beach golf escape started by visiting the Pearl, a great course with a really cool family history to it. The man in charge here is Odell Williamson. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you.
What a beautiful course you have here, and I know that your entire family has a little bit of their blood, sweat, and tears in this place.
They do. My father and grandfather built this course back in 1987, and it's always been very near and dear to our hearts. And we've stepped in a little bit more as ownership to take a little bit more attention to detail, you would say. Really committed on our family financially and every which other way to fix this course up back to what it used to be, because my dad was a golfer. He was a scratch golfer, and
the visuals are striking. So the fairways are rich, lush green, and the rough or the areas outside right now at this time of year a little bit brown, because that's what Bermuda does when it gets a little chilly out. So we threw on a light jacket to go out and play, and we discovered an incredibly beautiful course. We love it. How do you describe this course to those who haven't been here?
Just southern beautiful course. With the west is typically it's the link style play. It's a little bit more open. Our east course is a traditional tree line course, but now we're going to 3 9s here. So this way they'll play as a 9 and 9. It's an 18. They'll have 6 holes in the Calabash River. So we're excited about these changes.
With so many golf courses in the greater Myrtle area, you've got to do things right. You've got to do them well in order for golfers to choose to come and play here. So what are your goals when it comes to separating yourself from your neighbors?
Well, we want to start you off right. I mean, honestly, Southern hospitality is what we're all about. I mean, you're paying for experience, not just at the golf course, but when you come into our clubhouse, when you come to the starter shack, we want to greet you with a handshake. We want you to feel at home in the South. I mean, I'm Southern. I'm from here. It's
I
a
can't
yes,
tell.
sir.
You hide it very well.
It's just the way I was born and raised.
Yeah.
It's just exciting. So we're really trying to pick up on aesthetic value and just the course play. We're widening out our fairways, just doing a lot of neat little things.
Well, like I said, the competition is fierce in this greater Myrtle area.
Is.
But what a great way for us to start our trip. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for hosting
Great.
us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
There's a bit of a chill in the air here on day 2 of our father-son golf trip as we head to Glen, Dornoch, Waterway Links. And we're joined here by Mike Chase, who's been working here for 3 years now.
Yes.
Mike, what's special about this golf course?
The layout is fantastic. The fact that it runs along the intracoastal waterway, giving awesome views. Probably 3 of the prettiest golf holes. The finishing holes are probably 3 of the prettiest on the beach, and we're known for that.
Yeah, you mentioned the last 3 holes. Actually, on each side, the last 3 holes run along the intercoastal waterway. Yep. And the views are incredible out there. And everything's framed up so nicely with some marshland grasses and things of that nature. 17 is the signature hole.
17 signature par 3.
Dornoch.
Again, facing the intracoastal waterway. You get up on a tee box and hitting your tee shot to a green that's surrounded by problems, and you're going to have all sorts of boats floating by you in the background. It's really, really picturesque.
Yeah, 17 reminded me of playing in the middle of a nature preserve almost, because you have the grasses and the marshland, and there's birds flying through, and it's beautiful. Sandhill cranes we saw out there. Number 8 plays towards the water in a similar way, and while we were out there today, like you mentioned, a boat passed right behind the green as we were about to putt. And
it's fantastic when you see stuff like that. It's like you're not sure what to hit because now it's changing your sight, your line of sight.
You don't get to see a view like that
too
often.
The views are fantastic here. The course design was really, really well done back in 1996 when he did it, and it's just been fantastic ever since.
Yeah, the course has a lot of character. We had a lot of fun playing it, and just a great day, so thanks for having us, Mike.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Come back and see us again.
During this awesome father-son golf trip to Myrtle Beach, one of the things we look for is fun and memories to make off the golf course. Now, we're a pretty simple pair. Meat and potatoes really is our home run spot. And as we were driving down the road, this majestic, heavenly message struck us. One word is all it takes, and that word is brisket. Not only is that a menu feature at the restaurant, it's the name of the restaurant. And we are happy to introduce you to the owner of the restaurant, Miss Lainey Valesky. How are you, and how did you come up with such a unique name for a restaurant?
Well, Texas is the best thing you can get in Texas is brisket. And that's just the main core of barbecue. And it's a beautiful meat as long as it's cooked properly, and we know how to cook it.
So you brought some Texas to Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we brought a little southwest up this way. Most of the time we think about seafood all around this area.
Correct.
And we walk into here and the smells are what gets the blood going, because this is
That
red
was the
meat
plan.
lovers'
That was the
paradise.
plan when we created brisket. And when my husband and I started this, that was the idea of having a barbecue place. You can't do it any better than having the right smoker and smoking it long. We do a dry rub and cook it for 12 to 14 hours, depending on the size of the meat.
Now there is some secret going on back in that kitchen, because just as your smoke masters were about to tell us, you gave them the old
Exactly.
What are you holding out on us?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. The timing of it and the right rub, the rub that we use is my husband's, and this was his love to do. Again, being from Texas, his desire was to start a barbecue restaurant, and I kind of nudged him and put it on his bucket list and wanted him to do this, and we did it together along with my son Shane Whitehead, and we created what we feel is a wonderful, wonderful, true Texas style barbecue.
And a lot of this, if you don't mind me saying, you're doing it in honor of your husband, who just passed away a while ago.
Absolutely. He passed away a year and a half ago, and this was his dream to always have this barbecue restaurant, bringing Texas style to South Carolina.
The ultimate adjudicator of how good brisket is actually the guy holding the camera right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to order some dinner, and then we'll let him kind of wrap it up with a review of the brisket. We've been searching the nation for the best brisket, and I have a feeling we're in for a really good treat here.
You found the right place.
Well, I sure appreciate your hospitality and for sharing your family story with us. All right, Bo, what do you got?
Well, the biggest compliment I can give is that before the start of this video, I actually started to try to continue eating because it was so good. I didn't want to begin shooting the video. I didn't want to stop. And that's about what I'll say. I did not want to stop eating any of this food. The brisket was unbelievably good. I enjoyed my sauce combinations, 4 different sauces here at Brisket, made good use of those. Sides were excellent. The brisket was juicy and extremely flavorful, and the flavor of the meat was not covered up at all. And the mac and cheese also was incredibly good. That was what I didn't want to stop eating before the video.
You have largely demolished what was on your plate.
I've done some damage, yep. And I am not apologizing for that, because I could eat this food all day, I think.
It's hard to bother with vegetables when you have this kind of meat going, and look at that short rib falling off the bone. That is incredible. So if you had 2 thumbs free right now, I'm assuming they would both be up?
Oh yeah. In fact, I'll make a special case. I'll get them up right now.
Wow, he set down the meat long enough to give 2 thumbs up. High praise for brisket. The next stop on our father-son Myrtle Beach golf trip brings us to an address that says Arnold Palmer Drive, so I think you can probably guess who designed the golf course. It's called River's Edge, Jason Monahan is the Director of Operations. Thanks
Bill.
for having us.
Oh, our pleasure.
What
Glad
a
you could come out.
marvelous place this is. What a great course.
Fantastic. Nice little hidden gem sitting here in Charlotte. You'd never know we were here.
Once you pull in that main entrance, you see some of the quality of the homes here in this
Right.
residential area. You kind of get the feeling that something special is taking place by
Sure
way of
is.
golf. So how do you describe the course?
You know, it's amazing, and Palmer said it when he came out here. He said that he's stumbling across this piece of land. Says one of the most beautiful pieces of land that he's come about in his design and search, and you know, he complimented it with a magnificent design. I mean, the golf course from tee to green is spectacular. Some of the scenery and the vistas that you see while you're out there are just unmatched. So we're very blessed that he put forth such a great effort here and has given us such a product that we can deliver to the customer.
We're here when it's a little bit chilly. We're
Correct.
here a few days before Christmas,
Right.
but the conditions of the course are still pristine. That takes a lot of work.
It does. Our maintenance crew does a phenomenal job year-round. We go through 2 major transitions throughout the year, naturally coming out of winter and then into that summer, real heat and humid, and then we progress back into winter. So they have to manage those transitions, impacting the customer as little as possible, and they do a fantastic job at doing so.
There may be a few golf balls bearing my logo in that body of water. It probably raised it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You can make a few golf ball donations here around River's Edge.
Certainly, and for number 9, you know, its nickname is Arnie's Revenge. And I would say out of the foursome, you're good for a good 3 to 4 golf balls in that area. You know, you got to navigate that marsh twice and hitting into a peninsula green. So there are an awful lot of donations here at River's Edge, and hopefully they say a kind word to Mr. Palmer during the attempt.
We interrupt this interview to bring you a live look at Arnie's Revenge, where my father is having a bit of difficulty on this hole, just a small bit. We're looking at about a 182-yard shot over these marshlands, and we'll say it's for the green in regulation. It's not. Instead of laying up over here, he's choosing to take the more dangerous route. Let's see how it goes. It's a good strike. He's safe, though not putting.
I had some words for Mr. Palmer as I played number 9, and not all of them were kind, even though I revere his legacy.
Yeah.
But that is one beast of a hole, and the back 9 has a lot of challenge to it as you make your way home.
It does. You know, the final stretch, that holes 15 through 18 that run right along the Charlotte River here, are some of the prettiest finishing holes you'll ever see. You know, and then he hits you with that beauty of Arnie's Revenge, hole number 9, before you turn to the backside. You know, but we have 7 holes that sit on the Charlotte River, and they really are the staple of River's Edge, and kind of gives you a sense of what it's all about, and the community itself is just as phenomenal as the backdrop that you see.
Well, we appreciate your hospitality. Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Much appreciated. And when you're in the Myrtle Beach area, one of the places you have to play is River's Edge.
For sure.
There's no way we could leave town without taking a moment to say thank you to the man who put our trip together. Chris King is the spokesman for Myrtle Beach Golf, and with hundreds of courses to choose from, I don't know how you put a trip together like this. How do you start?
Well, hey, look, that's part of the fun here in Myrtle Beach, right? I mean, we're fortunate to have so much quality and quantity of golf here, and, you know, there are studies that suggest that planning a vacation is almost as fun as taking one. And, you know, we like to test that here. It's, you know, like you said, I mean, there's such a broad array of courses and types of experiences that you can take in here in Myrtle Beach, and that's really what makes this destination special, right? Is the ability to be all things to all people.
We spent the majority of our time on the northern side. How big is the region considered Myrtle Beach Golf?
Yeah, look, I mean, what we is generally referred to as Myrtle Beach is really a 60-mile stretch of Carolina's coastline. Yep, runs from Pawleys Island in South Carolina up into Brunswick County, where y'all were at, and what we affectionately refer to here is the northern strand. And I mean, we're fortunate to have great golf courses in all areas of that, and honestly, they offer different types of experiences in each place as well.
One of my favorite explorations off the golf course with Bo in town with me is to see some of the sights and sounds and take in some of the life off the golf course. Myrtle has a lot to offer, doesn't it? Whether you're golfing or not.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, golfers can sometimes forget that this is really a family destination. I mean, in those couple months that we aren't in peak golf season, there are 14 million people a year that visit here to come to the beach over the summer. So yeah, look, I mean, we're again extraordinarily fortunate to have the array of golf course options that we do here. And I mean, that applies to restaurants, activities, obviously the beach, eco activities. So there's never a shortage for things to do.
So for somebody who might need some help putting together the ideal trip, figuring out where to stay and where to play, does your team help with that, or is there a resource they can turn to?
I always tell people, if you go to www.playgolfmyrtlebeach.com, that's kind of your one-stop resource for all things Myrtle Beach golf. Courses, package providers, it's all right there. And they do a really nice job of spotlighting what we have to offer, and that's especially true when it comes to the Myrtle Beach Golf Trail.
Well, we certainly appreciate your hospitality. Now, Chris and I are going to head off to the same barber. It takes about the same amount of time to get our hair done, and we hope to see you here in Myrtle Beach. And that wraps things up for our father-son trip to Myrtle Beach. What a great time it was. Even though the weather wasn't as perfect as we had hoped, it was still a heck of a lot better than what we have back here in the Midwest. So, your first time ever in Myrtle, your thoughts?
Well, there wasn't snow on the ground as you're seeing out here, so that was a huge plus, and it was a lot warmer than we're experiencing right now. We got some great golf in. I was impressed by the crazy amount of hospitality that we found there. Everybody was just so nice and welcoming. Had a lot of great food. The golf courses were fun. They were fair, challenging. It was a great time.
We just barely scratched the surface of that great destination, which is kind of mind-blowing because we played some really good golf courses. I can't wait to get back when it's a little bit warmer and we can put some shorts on.
Yes.
I hope all of you will go and visit Myrtle Beach, whether or not it's a father-son trip or a golf buddies trip or whatever it is. What a great destination. Thanks to everybody who helped us put it together. Now you pack up, get out of the snow, and go play in Myrtle Beach.
Do it.